Well, this is Mike Bell, your man on the street, and we're at the Pride Party here down in downtown Toledo. It is an unbelievable event. I mean, all the people that are here. And what I was just telling Nicole, what it reminds me of, because I'm an old guy, is it reminds me of Woodstock a little bit. And a lot of all this, the diversity and everybody accepting everybody. And I think, and when I say this, Nick, to you, what I always preach is I can tell when a city is actually starting to grow and starting to become something important when they start becoming accepting of their diversity. And I am extremely appreciative as a citizen, because I'm not a mayor now, but as a citizen of the efforts that you all put in to putting Toledo on the front portion of diversity. And this is going to be what turns our city around. This is what's going to be able to make people feel good about living in Toledo. And I think that what you're doing is pointing out to us a part of a blind spot that we may have had in the city that we're now working through. So it is just great to be here. I'd just like to know what you would like to say about this.
So I think today is wonderful. I've had many people come up to me and say things like, it's so wonderful to see such a diverse crowd. There was mention of it at the multi-faith service that we had last night, where there were 8 faith traditions that came out to support the LGBT community. And I mean, there are over 100 vendors here and so many participants in the parade. And I think it really just shows that people are coming together and banding. And it's really about showing pride in the LGBT community in Toledo, but also pride in Toledo. I mean, it's a wonderful place to live as an LGBT person. So.
Well, thank you once again. Nicole, what do you got to say about this? Here's Nicole. She's actually out of Cleveland. So, I mean, we've gone now across the state, and I think that's pretty cool. So what do you got to say about it?
Well, I'm thrilled to be here. I'm really happy to be in Toledo. I'm learning a lot. I think you all, Toledo and Cleveland, are sister cities. And I think as sister cities, we recognize the value of diversity. And diversity as being something that's not an obligation, but something that strengthens cities. And the broadness of that. So thinking about diversity as it relates to gender and age and faith and religion and sexual orientation and all the different ways that strengthen cities and entities and businesses and faith traditions by being really thoughtful about that. When we come together, we're stronger than if we're apart. So things like Toledo Pride are a critical opportunity to make sure that people know that we're here to talk about LGBT rights, we're here to talk about Black Lives Mattering, we're here to talk about a lot of different things that are intersecting identities.
But you were saying to me earlier when we were talking that for some people this is about the only 2 or 3 days that they're able to come out and actually feel very comfortable with a crowd that is totally accepting of the diversity issue. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Absolutely. I think it's a chance that some people maybe take for granted. There are those of us, like myself, who my job is to be very, very out and to be an advocate for LGBT people all over the state of Ohio. But not everybody has that freedom. And I think it's really important that events like this are a diving board, right? They're the place we start from. You come here, you feel open, you feel free, and maybe that gives you a little bit of courage, right? To go to the next place and be open and be free. And then it's my job as an advocate to push for laws that make people able to be free and open and it's legal instead of being fired or evicted, kicked out of a restaurant or a hotel, which is currently legal in the state of Ohio if you think someone's trans or gay.
So what do you think, Julian?
I think it's so important that we celebrate diversity. It's one thing to acknowledge it, it's another thing to celebrate it. It's one thing for people to say they don't see color, it's another thing or sexual orientation or one's gender preference, but it's another thing to accept people for what they are and who they are. And I really think that really needs to be stressed is diversity is what makes us all special. It's what makes us all unique. It's what makes you who you are. So, don't say you don't see color. Don't say you don't see my sexual orientation. Don't say you don't see my preference. Like, that's important. Diversity is important. It's what gives us flavor in life. And it's not only important that we acknowledge it, but that we celebrate it and that we accept all people for the diverse things about them that make them great. Because that's what makes us all human, and that's really what can help us all bond together.
Well, there you have it. You have 3 different people talking about the diversity, talking about the strength of diversity, and the part, if you look at each one of them, the energy that they have. I mean, that's what I want as a mayor for the city of Toledo. I want to have people that have energy, and I want a lot more of these festivals where everybody's out having a good time. Toledo's such a great place, but if we just stop for a second, celebrate our diversity, enjoy ourselves as just one total group, I think we make ourselves stronger. So I want to thank you all for everything you're doing to make this celebration in Toledo and to show the world that we are opening our minds to the issues of diversity, and in doing that, strengthening our community. So thank you very much.
Happy Pride.
Thank you.